News. Welcome to World News Today. I'm Zeinab Badawi. America, Britain and France staged a walkout at the United Nations as Iran's President Ahmadinejad accused the West of double standards at the opening of a conference on nuclear non-proliferation. It's an ominous...
By enjoying special privileges in the highest global security decision-making bodies and in the IAEA, certain nuclear weapon states widely exploit these platforms against non-nuclear weapon states, contrary to the spirit of the NPT.
President Ahmadinejad, you can hear him there through an interpreter. Well, it's an ominous sign for the month-long conference, which many had hoped might bring the non-proliferation treaty one step closer to ratification. And as pressure builds on Iran to comply with UN regulations, the threat of sanctions looms large over the event. Well, one man who's met the Iranian president just last month to discuss nuclear disarmament is Indonesia's Foreign Minister, Marty Natalegawa. He joins me now from the United Nations in New York, Foreign Minister. So, what do you think Iran's position is on its nuclear ambitions? What's your take?
Well, I mean, the president has spoken. President Ahmadinejad delivered his statement earlier today. We, Indonesia, we are keen to accentuate commonalities, emerging consensus. Although obviously there is still a tremendous gap to be bridged, we are not pessimistic. We believe that there is still room and possibilities for consensus and an agreement to be reached, whether it be the specific Iranian nuclear issue, whether it be the bigger issue of the nuclear non-proliferation. It's very important to underscore the fact that this gathering here in New York involves more than 180 nations, state parties to the NPT. It's not only about Iran, it's about the future of the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, an instrument that we, all of us, I think, put a great deal of importance on.
Sure, I appreciate that. But when you were Indonesia's ambassador to the United Nations in 2008, you abstained on the possibility of sanctions on Iran because you thought that the IAEA was applying enough pressure. Subsequently, we saw the Security Council impose sanctions. Do you think Indonesia is perhaps a little bit of a soft touch when it comes to Iran?
No, actually, on the contrary, I think the fact that over the past year, even the United States administration, the new U.S. administration has pursued a more communicative and engagement approach proves the fact that our position then in 2008 that accentuate communication is one well worth trying and presenting. But clearly nowadays the ball is very much in Iran's court in terms of making best use of this window of opportunity to try to get the issue moving forward. Yeah, we think there's a lot of trust deficit prevalent here on both sides. We need to be engaging in more communications to ensure that this kind of issue can be resolved in a good way. Certainly Indonesia wants to see dialogue and communication be placed at the forefront.
Okay, well, we know, of course, that the United States, along with Russia, wants to really tackle this issue of nuclear non-proliferation globally. What can Indonesia bring to the table?
Well, the importance of the three pillars is not only about non-proliferation, it's certainly also about disarmament, nuclear disarmament. It's also about the right of states to develop peacefully, for peaceful purposes, nuclear energy. And these three pillars must be pursued in a coherent way, in a balanced way. And our interest here in New York is to ensure those three pillars are properly also to universalize the NPT. And by the way, Indonesia is trying to contribute in creating conducive atmosphere by announcing the fact that we are going to ratify the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, which is, I think, quite a major development.
Okay, and Foreign Minister, I want to ask you very quickly about Thailand. In the past few days, you had expressed your concern that the instability in Thailand could destabilize the whole region. Given that the Prime Minister in Thailand, Apasit Wetachiewa, has now talked about the possibility of elections, even perhaps as early as November, are your concerns now a little bit assuaged?
Well, we've been having a very good communication with the Thai government on this issue. national issue, but with regional ramifications. We hope the announcement of the elections will serve to sort of decompress the very tense situation there, and hopefully we can have enough stability, enough conducive atmosphere for the elections to be held in a good way.
Okay, Marty Natalegawa, the Foreign Minister of Indonesia, thank you so much for talking to us live from New York.
Thank you.